have missed you guys. We are back for another season of Candid Conversation with Charisa. I am your girl, your friend, your coach, your trainer, Charisa Monroe Wilborn, and I am excited to be bringing to you season 7. And guess what? We are continuing to bring you real, to bring you raw, to bring you deep truths about life, about family, about fun, about relationships, leadership, and purpose. And I get to do what I love best, answer your questions. You, my community, have been rocking with me for some time. And I want you to know that I see you. I want you to know that I hear you. And I want you to know that I understand you. You are not alone. So the questions you have, if I can answer them, if I can help inspire and motivate you, that's why I am here. So make sure you are watching Candid Conversations with Charisa every week for the next few weeks, just in case I am answering your question, or just in case I'm answering a question you didn't think you needed the answer to. Make sure you grab a friend, make sure you grab a family member, pen and paper, take notes, whatever you do to get your transformation and your breakthrough right here on this season of Candid Conversation with Charisa. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. See you soon. Another great question. How do I handle being confident yet humble? So how do I handle being confident and yet remaining humble? First, let me say I am honored that a lot of you see the confidence in my walk and my talk and just the way that I live life. I'm very, very, very big on, even if I may be having a bad day, even if I may be in a not so beautiful season of my life, I still want to be sure of myself. I still want to be confident enough that my head can be lifted high, my shoulders are literally squared, and I'm just showing up for myself and for you. And the fact that you can see that is very honoring to me. And also the fact that you're able to see, even in all of my confidence, that I'm humble. I am very, very honored and privileged that you are watching and observing that and able to see that, man, she's really authoritative in what she says and how she walks, but she's also humble with it. And I'm happy to share, to be able to express to you what I do. And I had to think about it because I don't wake up and say, okay, what am I going to do today? Or how am I going to make sure I'm humble? Or how, I just kind of do it and be. But I had to think about my behaviors. I had to think about my habits, and I had to think about my mindset to kind of put into words how I am able to walk boldly and confidently and yet stay humble. And 5 things I thought about, and I want to share them with you. So when we think about being confident and being humble, when I thought about how am I doing it and what am I doing, I recognize that they actually both go hand in hand. It's very difficult to be humble but yet not be confident. Usually humility is because you are standing bold. It's because you are standing tall. It's because you are being shined in a light. You're not dimming your light. When you're being humble, you're actually in a place and a state of service, even though you're at the top of the mountain. And so I think about confidence being at the top of the mountain, being at the peak, being someone who is standing in my authority, who's really and truly knowing what it is that I'm wanting to do. I feel the motivation and the inspiration to actually continue doing what I'm doing. Therefore, I'm confident in this action. I'm confident in this behavior. I'm confident in the results that I want to get. But then I'm also able to stay in a place of service. And so one of the things, if I talk about 5 ways that I handle being both confident yet humble, is I never stop serving others. I literally never stop making sure that I intentionally put myself in positions, in environments and surroundings of serving other people. I think one of the greatest acts of a good quality leader is one that is always serving. To the point where the better you can follow, the better you can serve, the greater you can lead. And so I'm always serving. I'm always serving someone who, in my opinion, is maybe at a higher place than me. I'm always making sure that I'm serving my home, my husband, my children, family. And I'm also making sure that I'm serving myself. Sometimes we serve everybody else in our external area and factors, but we never worry about ourselves. We put ourselves last. And I've learned very, very, very early on, but it also seems very recent, that in order for me to be able to serve you and you and you and you, I have to make sure that I am serving myself first. So I'm always in a place of service. And when you think about service, if when I say service, you think about on your knees, then that's the perfect place you could think about it. Imagine me being on my knees all the time, figuratively and literally. I'm always in a place of serving others. Number 2, in walking confidently and humble, is I walk with courage in the face of fear. And you guys are gonna always hear me talk about fear. You're gonna always hear me talk about perfection, and you're gonna always hear me talk about courage. Because one of the things as a great leader that leaders don't talk about is how much fear sits in our surroundings, sits in our cars, sits in our business rooms and green rooms and office rooms and board rooms and on the phone and on the email. Like, we have so much fear there because as leaders, we're always doing big things. We're always doing great things. We're always creating and inventing new things. And so when you are in that state of creativity and evolution, fear is going to always be there, trying to do what? Protect you. And one of the things I've learned is no matter how much fear is right next to me, no matter how much that fear may be in the car that I'm driving, it needs to take a back seat. It can stay there, but it can't say anything. And if it is, I know enough to silence whatever it is it has to say. And so I courageously still act. I courageously still take the steps that I need. I courageously still stand and show up before you, no matter how afraid I may be, no matter how nervous I may be, no matter how much anxiety is there, because I'm about to do something great. I'm about to do something big. I've never done something before. I literally have learned that courage is not getting rid of fear. Courage is not waiting for fear to go away. Courage is, with very much fear being present, courage is actually still doing, still moving, still acting, still climbing. Thirdly, I maintain an attitude of gratitude. You guys hear me say all the time how grateful I am for you, how grateful I am for my team, how grateful I am for my cheerleader and my husband, my support in my husband, my confidant in my husband, how grateful I am for the beautiful parents I had in the late Dr. Miles and Ruth Monroe. I am so grateful to God for the life that He's given me, grateful to God for the experiences that He's given to me, grateful to God for the breath that I have to breathe every morning that allows me to stand here boldly and confident, yet humble, talking to you and showing up for you. The more gratitude you have, you get to appreciate what you have instead of looking at what you don't have. I can go on and sit down and complain about the things I don't have because there may be things that I want and don't need. I can go on and on and on. Or I could appreciate the little things and the big things that I actually have in my possession. I'm grateful for the things that I have at my disposal, and I'm even more grateful for the things that I have access to. And even though I may not have something in my possession, sometimes access is even greater than ownership. So you know what it is to have access to other people's homes and have access to other people's cars and have access to other people's money because they have more than me. And because of the relationship that I've built, because of who I am, they said, everything I have is yours. You just name it. I can't be so much more grateful and happy and just thankful to God, to the community, to my friends, to my family, and to myself for who I am continuing to become. And when you have that attitude of gratitude, you have to stay humble. It's very difficult to be arrogant and grateful at the same time. Try it. Try being completely arrogant and manipulative and then also being grateful. And if you find someone that can do it, I would be look at them with one eye and say, ooh, that person may be psycho. But usually the two don't they don't live on the same street, like my coach would say. Fourthly, I am a lifetime student and I am proud. I remember when I was in school, I did undergrad for 4 years. I did master's for 2 years. I did a certification for another 1.5 years. And at some point I was like, oh, I'm tired of school. Some people would say to me, you still in school? You still a student? And I'm like, yeah, I know. But then I got to a place where whether I'm sitting in a physical, literal classroom of a college, a university, an organization, a program, or whether I'm literally looking around at life and experiences, personal and other people's experiences, whether I'm reading a book, I should always be learning. That is where growth happens. And not just to gain information, because we all get so much information and we do nothing with it. But I'm talking reading and learning and taking in and actually being able to apply what you take in. And in order for me to continue growing to higher heights and higher levels, I have to be making sure that I'm taking in new and relevant and pertinent information that I can apply. And so gone are the days of me having an issue with being a lifetime student. Gone are the days of me looking at being a student as something I want to keep a secret. No, I'm very proud. One thing my coach says, and I'm going to steal it from her, she says, the reason why I'm a great teacher, the reason why I can show up for you guys and authoritatively stand here confidently and talk to you with great conviction is because I am an even better student. I am a lifetime student. Lifetime student. And lastly, I never say no before I try. I never say no before I try. And sometimes we say no, and I'm a big fan of saying no to things you don't want to do. I'm a big fan of saying no to things you don't like. I'm a big fan of saying no to things that are not aligned with your goals and your vision and your values. But when it comes to you saying no to something you've never done because you just don't know or there's an unknown aspect to it, no. You have no idea how much you will be missing out on. The possibilities that are waiting for you, the opportunities that may be waiting for you, the money that you're leaving on the table because you said no. So I may say no at something big, at something new, at the unknown. Eventually I may say no, but it won't be because I didn't try. And I'm always willing to take a risk on myself first. I'm always willing to bet on me first. And then if for some reason the results aren't what I want, if I didn't like the feeling, if it didn't sit well with my spirit, if I look at maybe an acquaintance, an associate, or relationship, and I'm like, I'm not going to take that any further, I get to say no. But I get to say no because in trying, I've gained some information, I've gained some experience, I've gained some knowledge that has allowed me to be well informed. And then I'm making a decision, I'm saying a confident no with all the information needed. So when I have that on the table, again, I can be confident in my decision. So you're seeing someone standing here confident in the decision that she made because she tried. So those are 5 things that I do to stand here confidently yet humble. You can try them for yourself and see how they work. Let's go over them. 1, never stop serving others. 2, move with courage in the face of fear. 3, maintain a what? Attitude of gratitude. Always be grateful. Always say thank you. Number 4, be a lifetime forever. When I say forever, forever student. take any experience, use any part of life, and take any lesson you can at all times. You'll be surprised what you learn. And lastly, never say no before you try. Never say no before you try. You too can be confident. You too can be bold. You too can be strong and still be on your knees and still be the greatest leader in the room. You've just watched yet another inspiring, transformational episode of Candid Conversations with Charisa. And I hope that the principles and concepts in the episode are some that encourage you to take actionable steps to change and transform your life today. Don't be stingy. Make sure you are sharing and liking what you are hearing so that others can be a part of this community too. Make sure you are back here next week for another great episode of Candid Conversations with Charisa. See you next time.